StarCraft. Back to it then, guys. Alright, welcome back. As we kick this off and we get this underway, we have ourselves Reynor versus MaxPax in this PvZ best of 3. Actually coming up, some Chinese ads will come across the screen for a moment or two. We take a moment. As we get ourselves set up and get underway, just going to be having ourselves the hatch in the pool coming up for the moment here. Get this underway right now, get this all going. And we look to see what the plan is going to be from these guys as we get into some Protoss versus Zerg action. Here in today's Masters Coliseum Group B. Day 1, obviously, Day 2 tomorrow as well. 3 best of 3s a day, 6 best of 3s in total in this round-robin group. Going to see our Depth Conan boosting out, the Stargate coming in, a couple of drones and the Queen continue to come about as well. Going to be seeing the drone continue to chase after the probe for a little bit, just going to get across there. Bling's just going to go in after the probe for a couple of moments. Depth will go chasing, just the Ling's coming about. Adept is on the move. Couple Queens is going to go in. Adept going to get chased about a little bit. We're seeing the Adept shading back out into the center of the map for a moment or two. Get that underway. All coming about, a bit more damage being done. See the Oracle diving in, a couple of drones will be taking hits. As our Ling spores and drone continue to come around there, just going to be seeing a couple of units going to pop out, and away they will go as we move on onto the map. Just going to be seeing the melee upgrade coming about as well, so get set up with that for just a few moments. Looks like the Adept's going to be there. The Oracles get pushed to the other way. It's going to be seeing the Ling's going to jump through. Probe's going to be taking a bunch of damage. So already a run by from Reynor going to be extremely successful. And it's exactly what you love to see from Reynor, right? That's the kind of playstyle he really grew up on. The Ling's running by, being super active, being super annoying. The sort of thing that we've just seen day in and day out from Reynor ever since he really kind of set foot into the professional StarCraft 2 scene. Got Oracle going to show up. Just going to come and fire a couple of shots in as well. The Queen's going to be there. Oracle going to get chased the other way. So we're just going to move forward. The Adept's going to come about. Also just going to step in for a couple of seconds as we do have MaxPax looking to put some pressure on over on this side. Yeah, thank you so much. Squirrelich, how you doing? Coming in with a 32-month resub. Appreciate it. Thank you very much indeed. Hope you're doing well as our Oracles are going to help MaxPax's army stay alive here. The Queens will take a step forward, so they will try and get involved as well. See if they can maybe have some impact as the Lings continue to chase straight through. We've seen the Lings continue to go over to that right side, chasing those Stalkers down. We'll go hunting to play that cleanup here over the next couple of moments. So should be able to get that, should be able to take that out. Reynor in the end getting the cleanup, and not the most ideal scenario on the side of not the most ideal scenario on the side of MaxPax to lose out on all of those units. Just a little bit expensive. One's going to run about, just going to run straight up toward those Stalkers as well, try and see if there's anything in particular that they can get done for the next couple of moments. Don't think that's necessarily going to be the case, though. Stalker still stepping forward, just going to be seeing the Observer overhead as well. Continue to come across for the moment. Seeing again what we can do here. It's just going to be poking forward for a couple of the creep tumors, so creep will be taking some damage. And obviously the Stalker count now a lot higher with the Stasis Ward support. We are hoping that we can have a successful time pressing through. You can see the Stalker's going to trade a little bit. Creep Probe's going down. And you see the Stalker still pushing forward as, I mean, the Ling Hydra has to take a step back towards the creep spread. MaxPax's supply is actually looking pretty good. Still losing probes on the other side of the map, so run by that once again. Reynor shows us is kind of one of his biggest strengths here. Absolutely succeeding in that regard as Stalkers and the Oracles come back over. Zealots coming about again. Just adrenal glands. Size explains all of that coming through as we speak. Just going to be having the Stalker's going to get there for the Overlord. We'll be able to take that out as well. So it's going to be another pick off. Ling's just going to find a Colossus in the middle of the map, and that's lovely. We take whatever we can get right now, and a Colossus is a pretty free pick. A big unit that gets taken down with immediate effect, so it's going to help you out a lot. It's just going to be seeing the Stalkers continue to come about. The Stalker's actually getting caught. Oracle's not able to protect either, and you can definitely see that MaxPax is having some issues. His Lurkers are here as well. Reynor's going to absolutely swarm this, and this is going to be one-sided from from Reynor. He's just going to absolutely crush. And maybe Reynor really is feeling it. Good. I'm glad. I wanted Reynor to prove me wrong, because like I say, I struggled to MaxPax versus Reynor. Game number 2, Speedy, once we're into the game phase of it, this whole thing. Reynor will be in the upper left of King's Cove. MaxPax will be in the bottom right. I do wonder if there's potential for this to actually turn into a very long game as well. Because obviously it's King's Cove. Reynor just showed no chill in that last game, but MaxPax will be able to defend much more easily on this map as well. To be fair though, MaxPax kind of played pretty aggressively himself. That's kind of what opened up the opportunity for Reynor to be as aggressive as he was. Subsolid, thank you so much for the 45-month resub, mate. Appreciate it. Thank you very much indeed. Yeah, MaxPax really kind of got disrupted in that last game, just trying to be a little bit aggressive and really not quite finding the correct opportunity to make that work for himself, unfortunately. Don't get what happened. MaxPax just took some bad fights back to back. Like, he was pushing forward and he was feeling pretty confident, and then Reynor just really bounced back in a big way, and you know, you lose a bunch of stalkers here, and then you don't quite have your tech out, and Reynor does have his army kind of teched up a little bit. The thing about the stalkers is they're meant to trade very well effectively on the other side of the map against the Zerg force for a long time. The moment you let that kind of facade slip, then you really have trouble. Then you really run into a lot of issues, so... yeah, just you know, you get pushed across the map, the lurk goes out, your splash damage isn't quite up, you haven't bought yourself enough time. Yeah. I'm using the stalker, gonna ping around, overall will take some damage, so a few more shots coming through. Again, Queenlings, the Overlord, all continue to come about here as we have the hatchery coming into play as well. So, again, we get a lot of that coming online. That's going to take a few shots as well, so just going to go down. Smoke Crawler cancels as we save the drone. Nicely done. And thank you, Subsolar, for the 45 months on tier 2 as well, is what I didn't mention, is what I just want to come back to. Got you guys ready to go on the tree. The last couple of subs, we'll get that up after this game. We're all going to activate, going to chase a drone down for a couple of moments as well. Just going to try and get something done there. Oracle doing its thing. Off some drones, Force and Evo Chambers, just trying to be as much of a disruption as we can be for the moment, so doing everything that we can for now. We're gonna be there, push the Oracle back the other direction too, so gonna chase that across in a little bit of a different manner. Now they upgrade the link speed, continue to come around, so again we get all of this going through for a couple of moments and get a lot of things settled here. As the Oracle's going to get a little bit of energy overcharge on them as well, so they're going to have the energy to continue through. Another upgrade from Reynor as well is going to play into that nice and quickly as well. And the Oracle, if your adepts continue to come about, it's just going to be seeing the, again, +1 attack and charge continuing through for the moment, so we bring up as much of that as possible here. So we're just going to have ourselves the Moments are building up. Yo, the Gyron, thank you so much for resubscribing, coming in for the 45-month resub. Always amazes me how much, how many kind of long subs we get nowadays. It's kind of crazy. Yeah, thank you so much. Appreciate it. As that person moves about as well, trying to see what else we can get up to here. What does the spray mean? Oh, I have no idea. Sorry. Probably just says Masters Coliseum is the best. Long live StarCraft 2. Yada yada yada. Something like that, you know. That's my guess. Sentries, Archon's just going to fight. A few Lings are going to be about as well. Just going to be seeing a few Zealots moving around. The 5 probes. Going down on the other side. So once again, every time that Reynor is, I mean, in any sort of situation, he feels like he's constantly ready to deal damage. He's always there, ready to put some damage out on the other side. And, yeah, actually, that's not a surprise, but, I'm impressed by his ability to kind of keep on finding damage even while MaxPax is very much so kind of being very aggressive himself, right? So GoPro's going down, 8 melees coming up, plus 2 melee, and the roach speed coming online as well, so we get all of that coming about. Muta's on the way, gonna make this a very harassment-focused game now from Reynor, so get that set up. Okay, it's BRB 1 sec. Sorry, I just heard something, but Helen's just home, so. Alright, sorry for that. We are here with Ling Roach pushing through the Oracles. Gonna come about as well. As you see, a couple of storms going down defensively. This map will allow you to hold on for quite some time. That's why the mutas are quite nice, because on this map, the mutalisks could definitely kind of pull you apart, even though it's a very defensible map, right? Mutas always have that sort of potential kind of to them, so I do think that's a nice little possible addition here, as we just have and continuing to settle down. Just gonna have ourselves the countdown coming about as well. So we will see a hive. We will see some further tech continue to come into play. Look at them coming through. Hive is on the way up. Just gonna see ourselves a few Lings gonna get caught in that stasis ward, so stasis will get picked away at. As the Lings come over, a couple of Archons continue to morph in. The army of MaxPax looking good enough to absolutely be able to just stay contesting here where necessary, so it doesn't look like that's going to be too much of an issue. Muta's going to keep flying through. There's a couple Phoenix out, but obviously Mutas will be consistently trying to push the issue in terms of how much they can do, how annoying they can be, trying to get things done nice and quickly here. Be seeing 6 more probes going down, so they definitely are finding some damage. Definitely seeing some success. Thank you so much, Illyria. 77, most more likely than Illyria. Illyria 77. Thank you so much for the 2 month resub on the Prime, much appreciated. Thank you so much for supporting. Thank you, thank you. And 11 probes going down. And this Reynor seems to be kind of heading straight into the lurker stage now, so it doesn't seem to be kind of hanging around on the Mutalisks anymore. Seems to be quite happy to trade those and just, like I say, get to the next point of this game instead. So that's where Reynor will begin to get to. Heading in that direction. Ling's going to come running about. Just going to go after those couple of zealots for a few moments as well, so they will also chase straight through here. They're just going to fly in. Pylon going down into position. Let's just continue to move about. Still just a few of them, even now. Getting some worker kills, right? So continue to add that up. Big warp into the main base as the Zealots coming there. They're going to charge straight forward into this mineral line, so they'll see what they can get up to as they fire straight away. And the Archon's going to get there. Good storm going down as well. Across those lurkers, so that's going to hurt for a little bit as well. As another Oracle Revelation goes down too, so we're going to drop that Oracle Revelation into position. And the lurker's still ready to strike, if at all possible. We'll see again, King's Cove allowing you to be very defendable. What's interesting is that MaxPax is not taking the forward base, he took kind of the southern base. He doesn't want to kind of defend forwards, wants to defend a little bit off to the side still. Keep an eye on that. So we've seen that Safe Sword catching Lurker and a few roaches once again, so little bits of damage still being done as the storm comes down one more time. We have got ourselves the Tempest coming through, the Zealots and the Mothership all coming online as well. Bring that into play. Again, Lurker's just pinging away and doing a little bit more for the moment. Taking away this Nexus, I mean, MaxPax basically is forced to deal with this. He does have Tempest out, just not too many of them just yet. Those Tempers are getting there. Lings are going to run through. The Storm is going to be good to hit those Lings. Roaches are going to be forced back as well. So that little squadron of the army gets cleaned up very easily. Now we're going to have everything else moving across. And a couple more shots coming about. The Mothership coming over, +2 air weapons is on the way through. 9 Hydras continue in production as well, so we got all those Hydras continuing out. All Lurkers is going to get burrowed up. Seeing the Archon still there to pick away through those. They will not last very long at all. Lurkers repositioning now, actually once again still in range of this base, constantly being a threat, constantly being a danger to this situation on the side of Reynor. He's really pushing the issue with these now. Can MaxPax hold them off? And if he holds them off, what sort of position are we going to end up in? Because we have our Tempest still moving about here. Just going to be having the Lurkers getting forced back a little bit, so we lose this forward base. Maybe this is part of the reason why you didn't want to take that forward base initially as well, and why you can't hold on to it. Maybe it is really better just to take the base off to the side to begin with instead. That's not too crazy of a concept for the end of the day here. The Tempest Shard Changeling going down, so we're going to see that falling off as well, just slightly. It's a lot of Tempest. I mean, we definitely have an answer to the Lurkers. It's just kind of cleaning them up quickly enough a lot of the time here is maybe going to be the bigger question mark. Plus, missiles is on the way. More Lurkers are still coming out. Reynor getting some Niduses ready to go too. Not a bad choice, right? Because you can definitely also, if those Nidus networks, get around the map and really put a lot of pressure on. So, Niduses will give you some counter-attacking options here. Will give you some opportunities. Gonna see a little revelation coming down. A little bit more being done. Again, the Hydras, the Roaches. Infest is moving a little bit about as well. And +3 missiles continue to come in just for now. As Tempest will step forward. Double Nidus in the main base. We got units here. I think both of those go down if we actually start fighting them, which we do now. We stopped for a second, which makes it close, but still good enough for MaxPax defensively. So they don't go down, but obviously that's something that you now have to kind of stay on top of, right? That's consistently going to happen. As a couple of these Tempests got too fought up, and they are going to be taking some heavy hits and some losses there for MaxPax as well, as this game continues to just stretch out in multiple different directions at this point in time. Rest of that army moves about one more time here. Got a few Tempests coming about. We get that on the way. We're gonna see this army here. Actually, now these units might be in some trouble. There's gonna be a Nidus there that we can retreat with if we need to, though. Actually, now we get rid of the Nidus network, so maybe that retreat option is cut off. MaxPax is kind of surrounded in. The Lurkers trying to find their chance to move forward as well, and they will do that right now as this force tries to stay getting out of there. I mean, MaxPax more or less scrambles out of trouble. That was a very dangerous situation. You can see where things were potentially going to look very scary. Cannons continue to fire away too, so they're going to do everything they can to continue by. Again, Kindness plating coming up at the moment. We get that on the way. Carriers and High Templars all building up as well. New Lurkers. Kind of crazy just how lurker heavy this is ending up being, right? MaxPax's army's good. It's going to be interesting to see that Reynor obviously does not feel like he can do anything else but kind of rebuild more of the same. I think the problem is we're starting to see that MaxPax is able to just withstand these attempts. And if he can keep withstanding those attempts, he ends up in overall very good positions. I'm just going to see the Tempests and the Archons, the High Templars and the Immortals moving through. The couple of Lurkers will take some shots. And back into that Nidus network, so just going to hide away there. The Archons continue to chase through. Get rid of the Nidus as the Mothership stays overhead as well. Continue to see what else is up. You can see those carriers starting to fight. A Hydra Dash 4 going to go after those carriers. Not going to succeed in too much there, as the carriers for the moment at least do get out of there unscathed. A couple more storms coming down, as we do have, again, this push back happening. One look as burrow up over on that right-hand side. Of course, there's a map with a lot of bases available to you, so we've got a long time here, likely, where we can kind of just set up and... yeah, or we can just set up and let things play out. Because there's going to be bases for days. I mean, 8 Ultras on the way now. Reynor going to try and remax with those. Worker count 69 to 67, so it's not like we've got a ton of economy. It's not like we've got endless amounts of money on either side of this. That is not the case in the slightest. Spinecrawler shots coming through, a little bit of damage being dealt there straight away. I'm just going to be seeing this Protoss army again a lot more aggressive now. It was all about Reynor taking positions and MaxPax having to figure out the lurker spots and so on before, but now it is MaxPax much more taking control of this. He's going to Mothership recall into his opponent's natural, going to take down a bunch of tech as he goes, so MaxPax is actually able to do a lot right here. Success coming through from him is, man, that is a major play just straight up into his opponent's base. Those Fusels continue to nibble about, and they're going to put some work in as well. You have the Ultras still going through, putting in a little bit more effort as well. Recall now gonna get us out of there and trying to evacuate a little bit further as the Immortal and the High Templar continues to set up at the moment. New Parasite on the way, a couple of Vipers continue through. Vipers, Neural Parasite, all that coming about right here. So again, we get this on the go. With the big army fight here, we're actually going to land a Fungal as the Ultras are going to close in from both sides. I think MaxPax's army is clearly just strong enough to kind of sustain through this anyway, though, and it's going to be GG. We're going to go to viewers' perspective because there's just such a broad kind of outcome of results, basically, from how those fights go and everything. So yeah, are these best of 3? Yes, everything is best of 3 in this event. Everything is best of 3. Will we ever learn if MaxPax isn't an AI? No. He'll forever just be known as the AI man. Hopefully someday. Hopefully someday. As we get set up. Gas and pool coming through, a couple of drones coming about as well, so we get all of that on the go here for the moment. Set just for a little bit. Why do I think MaxPax doesn't go to offline tournaments or show his face? I have no idea. I'm sure there's a very personal reason for it. Could be an abundance of things. There's no point guessing, is there? Whatever reason he has, it's obviously a very good one, because he could be winning thousands upon thousands of dollars if he traveled. And he would, yeah, I mean, he's got to be good enough reason to tell all the tournament organizers he can't do it as well, because otherwise he'd just not be allowed to play. So... no point speculating at this point. If we ever find out, we'll find out, you know? Okay, coming through, Stargate coming up. The start of this one looking pretty regulated. Nothing too crazy just yet, I would say. And kind of going as we think it should so far. That's going to come around. Making its way about for a little bit as well. How this first little bit of harassment goes as we get set up. And I'm just going to try and shade through. Just going to move across there for a second or so. You have the couple of devs still moving around, link speed coming up as well. Sorry guys, bless me, I'm sneezing for a second. Had to mute up. Let's do have our Oracle is going to poke around a little bit. It's going to get turned back the other direction for a few moments. Again, the Twilight Council, Forge, and Gateway all coming up from MaxPax as well. Nexus continuing through as well. Let's bring this into play. So far, so good. So the Oracle activating. A couple of queens are going to get there. Oracle will take a few more shots. Oracle going to fight to get rid of a couple of units. The state sword going down is going to catch a drone as well. As the Twilight Council comes in, the extra gates coming about, the drones and the Roadroar and the Evo Chamber as well continue to come up for the moment. Get a lot of that underway. Some things and the drones and everything else coming through too. Steps and the Queen's going to go back and forth with each other, so they're going to fire it up a little bit, try and get a little bit feisty. For now. He's actually having a great run by here. Already 8 probes going down. Something that Reynor was not able to do as much in the last game. Was definitely shut down a lot more in those some of those plays. So seeing a little bit more success with it here is a big plus. Big plus. Well, the dev's going to threaten the Shade through once again, see if they can get anywhere. See if there's anything in particular that they can find for themselves. So far, it's not really, but we'll keep on trying for a little bit at least. Just see those Lings going to run up and get to the front once again, so... I'm just gonna have to recall away, try and stay out of, stay out of the way of going down at least. Definitely not an ideal situation so far. And we do have the Oracle gonna come back over in this direction to see what else it can find as we come back across over here. So we have a few Stalkers still gathering together as well. Let's do attack charge, both being built up at the moment, so we get that coming through. Let's do have our new gates going to continue to stay up here as well. It's going to be having the Stalker's going to blink forward because his sword as MaxPax tries to play defense. He took a lot of damage here early, so he really does need to try and recover a little bit right now. The Stalker's come across. See the Stalker's catching a few more Lings, just going to pick those off, clean those out. That's going to be a nice little cleanup there towards the end. A nice little grab at all that. A little bit of a jump forward, just going to move through there, just going to be seeing our Stalkers, High Templars gathering up. We've got to defend against these Lurkers now. It's definitely going to be one of those scary phases of the game once more, right? So, got to be a little bit cautious here as we set up. Going to be continuing to move across for a little bit as you have obviously those Lurkers really putting a bit of a crushing position on this right now. This is going to make it very difficult to well, yeah, do much else about, to be honest. This is not exactly ideal to say the least, so not looking great at the moment. Do do have our Lurkers obviously just continue to crush into this. MaxPax really going to struggle, I think, to do much about this right now. Like, I think this is a really difficult spot to kind of tear yourself out of, honestly. So yeah, I do think this is going to become a little bit more just continuously problematic for him. Don't really know what we do here, to be honest, as this base goes down. We've got the base on the other side, which is something at the very least, so we got kind of got that going on. Like I say, I'm not sure if that's really going to be good enough at the end of the day anyway, right? Like, I just do not think this is looking to be the beautiful setup that we kind of want this to be right now, unfortunately. It's going to be seen now. Lurker's still setting up, still trying to push forward a little, trying to get in some positions. We've seen the mothership going down as well. I mean, Reynor able to keep on pushing through. Definitely an army. These Lurkers definitely kind of doing their thing this time around. Definitely getting enough done, I would say, as another storm comes down on the Hydras and the Queens. Stalker still gathering up. I mean, probes just keep dropping. MaxPax's position is pretty rough. I mean, Reynor does not have a ton of drones or anything either. As we do have, and continue to settle down for a little bit at least. So I mean, we got some hope of this maybe going turning about a bit. But I really feel like I'm holding on to hope that's not really that at the moment, to be honest. So does not feel great. Does not feel ideal. I think we're going to be rounding this one out sooner rather than later, to be honest. I'm just going to come across, just going to come running through. A couple storms going down still. Mortal's going to be there to try and help out. And then those queens are going to be here. They're going to try and do full extra themselves. There's really not much else to add on to this, guys. I am struggling to tell you guys what to be excited over. I think this one is, like I say, absolutely coming to a close. Tempest coming around. Just gonna see those move about a little bit further as well. As MaxPax holds on, he does have the bottom right base. There are portions of this which look as though maybe, just maybe, there is still a little bit of hope to be had. Maybe I'm getting a little ahead of myself still by saying that this is definitely decided. It felt like very good for Reynor. Like I said at one point, I guess Reynor's economy was not the best either. That's definitely having, you know, something of an impact here that he's not being able to just kind of come through and close out already, I would say. We'll have our couple of observers. I'm going to go moving across, a couple of stalk shots. Moving around that side as well, see what they can do. Things gonna fire. We're gonna fire back the other direction for a couple of moments. Then you come this other way. Now we drop a Lord into the main bases. Reynor definitely getting to this point where he clearly just wants to kind of clean this up. Clearly just wants to get his opponent pushed back and just kind of be done with this whole situation, I would say. Definitely getting to that point where we're making plays to try and end this. Does not want this to, like I say, kind of draw on out too heavily. Can avoid that, then great. I'm just going to dash forward, trying to fight the Tempest. Obviously, MaxPax's main base gets broken down. We are going to try to make something happen kind of over on the edge during this. On the bottom right side, there's a little bit of action going on too, so a little bit of something there. Nothing too crazy, I'm going to say. I mean, looks as though that base stayed alive. Obviously, the main being ransacked is seemingly the bigger issue at the moment. Step forward once again. Here going to come the Lurkers, just going to come running straight through. They try to clean straight up. Just going to attack into this because it's going to be seen the Corrupt is going to be there as well as we continue to fight back in the other direction. Corrupt is going to get pushed back. 12 probes going down. MaxPax definitely still struggling to reassemble himself in this game. Fortunately, at the moment, this is getting a little bit too out of hand, I think. I think this game has definitely been taking some rough turns for MaxPax recently, as Reynor does look as though he's going to be getting this series to go his way. Couple of shots coming about, so we fire a few hits the other direction. Just going to be seeing the Lurkers going to go retreating for the moment. I mean, Reynor has been very systematic about this, breaking forward a little bit, seeing some success, falling back, not rushing. He's got bases up of his own. Take a few moments here as we settle back down. Maybe having the Tempest ready to fire away. A few more shots coming out of those. There's a lot of Lurkers over here. The problem is Reynor's army is still not exactly ideal for kind of what's going on. Like, it's not designed to really be able to kind of fight against a lot of these positions in these armies, so there's a little bit of weirdness about this right now as we just have the Corruptors and the Viper coming about. Just going to make their way over here already. Lurkers keep moving through. I'm just going to have ourselves the Corruptors and the Hydras continuing out as well to keep on protecting this here. So doing what we can for a moment or so. And I think at the end of the day, we're going to have ourselves absolutely a Reynor victory. I mean, it's hard to make this exciting. MaxPax is kind of hanging on in there, but not really for much reason outside of just trying not to die. I don't think he's got anything on the way up that's going to be like, aha, well, there we go. You know, there's the turnaround, there's the bounce back. I just don't think that's happening at all, unfortunately. So, yeah, this is probably just MaxPax slowly down. I mean, he's down on 1 base now. He's basically hoping that his opponent just kind of completely screws this up and decides to just go, you know, crazy into him, and then you just sort of counterattack and win. I mean, if that happens, then I'm going to be amazed. That should never, ever happen here. But alas, here we are. MaxPax will pray for it and hope that he can somehow finally just... Yeah, one of the later GG times MaxPax has probably ever done, honestly. He's not really someone that stays in the game a lot of the time. So I am genuinely a little bit surprised that he's still in this one. Tempest coming up, Corruptors are still very much so on their way. The Lurk is coming through. Actually can get stormed again, so a couple of shots coming off from those for a moment. It's going to be seen. I mean, MaxPax will try and make this happen, but I mean, you're really talking about a 1-base situation here. There's not much else to say, guys. I would love it if we somehow, some way, found a way. Just, not believing it. I'm not seeing it. I'm not believing it. GG gets called. Reynor takes it. And that is going to be that. Hey!